Let's start. So just to remind you what we've done in our last training. In our last training, what we did is that we learned how to create cross sections. Let me open the file. It was this one. Okay, so this is what we did. We designed the profile of this road, and then we went into roads cross sections.
We can't see your screen.
You cannot. Okay, sorry. You cannot, or you. How is it now? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so what we did last time is that we went here, we went into the cross sections, and in the cross section window, we learned how to define a template. We start with the structure here, 0, 0. Why 0, 0? 0, 0 is the crown level, is this point, right? This is the 0, 0. And from here, we took 7 meters to the left, which is 2 lanes, up till here. We defined these segments to be an asphalt, you see here. We continue with shoulders, so we didn't define anything here, of 1.5 meters. We defined this to be 2.5% going down this way for the drainage, and 2.5%. From here, we told the software, go, if you are in cut, go at 1 to 2, and if you are in fill, 1 to 2. In this situation, we are in fill, so there's 1 to 2 going down here. So we are in fill, going 1 to 2. And then from here, first of all, we designed the structure total width. How did we do it? We did it by defining the design ground level, the subgrade level. We went from here 60 cm down, and we continue, so it here is 0 minus 0.6. And from here, we continue until this point, meaning 7 meters and 1.5 meters. From here, the software knew how to complete by itself. This is the software did it by itself. Then we went to left ditch, and from the left ditch, we defined that the length ditch, okay, originally we defined that the ditch is 60 cm in cut, 60 cm in fill. But then we entered into the profile and changed it, so the system automatically changed this as well, according to the profile. And we've done the same for the right ditch. Another thing that we did is we used this button, get reference by layer, to demarcate the width of the existing road, because there's existing road already there. So I will do something, 1 second, let me clear all the reference. Reference. All the layers of all the sections. Okay, how I've done it is by pressing this button here, choosing the layer which I want to present on the cross section. In this case, I choosing this layer which shows the existing road. Press OK, and the system filtered it and translate it into my cross sections. So here it is. This is the existing road. And we're taking it wider by this and by that. Okay. Any questions so far? Guys, if everyone has a question, let's hear him or her. If not, I will continue with my...
Yes, sir. Hello?
Yes, please.
So what of the reference in the block of the tables? You know, when you open the table, you see another reference there. What's the use? Is it the same thing with the one you did before?
You talk about this one.
Yes.
Okay.
When do we use that?
Okay, I understood. I will try to do something now. Let me try to. Okay, reference can be used for several things. You mean this one? What is the question? What is exactly the question?
Yes, sir. This.
Yeah. What you asking? What is this?
Yes. Is it the same thing with the one we did in the one we did before? Is it the same?
Yes,
function?
it's the same. Yes, it's the same.
Okay.
Actually, when we used this reference, the system scanned the layers and convert
Oh, okay,
in
sir.
each sector
Okay.
the name of the layer, the offset, and the elevation.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, in this case, there's no elevation because it's just the width of the road, so it put it in 0. There's nothing. But we'll show later on how we use it also to show drainage and other things. So it's been used for other things, but we'll show it very soon. Okay?
Okay, sir. Understood. Yes, sir.
More questions, please? No more questions. Okay, okay. So, what we're gonna learn today, and for this I want you to be to listen very carefully because it's gonna be quite intensive. Things are getting, I don't want to say more complicated, but more advanced in features. So please listen carefully. Again, I will run it and then you can practice. I'll give you time to practice. So the main thing, okay, we start with super elevation. Super elevation, I hope all of you are familiar with the term. In this road, there's only one curve that starts from here. You see the tangent point. You know what I'll do? I'll take this layer, make it yellow. Okay, so there's a super elevation that start here and end up here. You see it from here till here. Not super elevation, a curve, sorry. A curve that start from here to here. This is the first tangent point, and this is the second tangent point. In this case, we didn't create any spiral, any clotoid, or any transition area here. I mean in the geometry. Therefore, we will have to create our own transition. I will take a transition, it's my decision, 20 meter. I will start the transition 20 meter before the tangent point and end up 20 meter after the tangent point. This is my decision. I'm using a slope of 2.5% each side. What I intend to do is to do a transition from 2.5 to 2.5 one side to the left. I hope this is understood. But if not, very soon I hope you'll get it. So again, I'm doing a transition somewhere from here to here. I'm changing the side slope of the right lane because I'm turning left from -2.5 to 2.5 up till this point, and then a transition again from here to 2.5. Roads, how do I do it? Cross sections. Okay, roads, cross sections. roads cross sections. Here is the button, super elevation. I'm pressing this button here. The system automatically analyzes the geometry and says, you have only one IP. It starts with a tangent point that starts at 109.42. It's a radius turning to the left of 482.74. And there's another tangent, 202.43. This is the analysis that we have. If we had more, we have a big list here. Again, actually what the system does, it says it translates this into the running distance. This is the first tangent, and this is the second tangent. And this is what we see in this super elevation window. First tangent, I hope it's clear. Then also the software says which of the segments you want to super elevate. Are you super elevating only the asphalt, the shoulders as well? What kind of super elevation do you do? Maybe you have several segments. Let me remind you that our asphalt is at segment -1 and +1. This is the segment of the asphalt here in the lower left table. So for me, -1 and +1 is good. -1 and +1. And let's start the super elevation. I'm saying if I would have a clotoid here, a transition curve, it was easy because I would see SC, CS, ST, and so forth. But I don't have it, so I have to create it myself. How do I do it? I stand here on the first column and press enter. I have a new line. I said that I want 10 meters before. So I said 99.42. This is where my transition starts. At this point, the super elevation is -2 and -2. There's no super elevation because this is where I start my transition. My transition ends after my full transition ends 10 meters. Oh, I said use 10 meters. Let's change it to 20 meters. Ends 20 meters after the TG, the tangent point. And in this point, I want it to super elevate. Left slope doesn't change, right slope super elevates to 2.5%. I hope you got it. Then I will create another empty line here, an empty line here. Actually, oh, my mistake. Let me cancel. No save change. See, I did a mistake. So again, I will open here. I'm starting 20 meters before, -2, -2. This is where I start the super elevation. Then I get to full super elevation, 20 meters after the tangent point, which is 2.5 to the left, but 2.5 plus to the right. So I'm changing from -2.5 to 2.5 after the full change. And here, I'm starting super elevating again at 182.343. And I'm finishing back to normal 20 meters after. This was 20 meters before, 20 meters. Okay. My question to you. Okay, you know what? Let me finish and then we'll have a question. We have questions. And I'm pressing apply. That's it. If I will now update the layout, see what happened. From here, 20 meters before, the super elevation starts. You can see it here on the right lane. And it ends 20 meters after, here at that point. Here at that point, we have one side slope, and then 20 meters before, after 20 meters after, it goes back to 2.5%. So actually, if I go to see, for example, this section, 1 to 5, if I go to 1 to 5, here it is, you see? This is in the middle of the super elevation. This is super elevating. This segment super elevating, this is not changing. Again here, 2.5. 2.5, 2.5, here it's coming back to the other side. And continue. I hope you got it, but I want to show you another trick. If I press super elevation again, let me erase all the super elevation. All right. Okay, this is what I want to do. And now, this was the beginning. Instead of entering, the system can use AASHTO standard to do automatic super elevation. So if I click here, the system asks me, what is the design speed in kilometer per hour of this road? Let's say it's 70 kilometer per hour. The lane width, we entered 3.5%. And the normal slope is minus 2.5. Remember, not 2, right? Let's press OK. And this is what the system says. Says that according to this, we have to super elevate 40 meter, almost of it, it's less than 40 meter. Almost 40 meter before the tangent until the tangent itself at 3.17. Let's see, and let's see. You see, this is 3.2, 3.2, 3.2. Yeah. So this is the super elevation. And of course, in this case, even the left lane change accordingly. Let me update the layout. So now the slope should be sharper here. Yeah, here it is. So this is according to the software. The software did automatic. This is what the software suggests, according to 17 kilometer per hour road. You can use what the software did, or you can fix it manually. Even now, you can go and fix it. But remember, you can even go to a specific section and change it by yourself. Look the structure here. This is what the software suggested. I'm here on the lower left. In this section, which is in the middle of the super elevation, the right lane changed to minus 1.7. It's still on the side, but start super elevating. I can change it. Questions about what we've seen? Any questions? Guys, ladies, this is the time. We are not doing practice of that. We don't have time. I want you to focus on something called extract. So super elevation, it is what it is. If you want me to repeat something, this is the time. Any questions about super elevation? I take it that everything is clear. Okay. If everything is clear, let me continue.
Everything is not clear. It's confusing. I don't know where to start a question, but
Okay.
I wish you repeat.
Okay, no problem. Who is talking?
It's Rose.
Rose. Okay, again. Let me remind you a quick one. This road is turning to the left. If I'm driving from here, from this point, starting from this tangent point, I'm turning to the left. Yes, it's a small curve, but still it's a curve. It's a curve of radius of 482 meters, but the change is only 11 degrees. From here to here, right? There is a change. Since there's an attend to the left, we have to do super elevation. Obviously, the main lane which is super elevating is the right lane. Right lane, yeah. Why? Because the right lane has 2.5% going this way, right? If I go to cross section. One second. This lane is 2.5%. If I'm turning to the left, I have to super elevate it. Right?
Yes, sir.
I have to super elevate this lane. But I need to know where to create the transition. I can create it manually like I've done in the first, or use the system. So how do I tell the system to use it according to its own standard? Again, I'm going to the super elevation. I can enter the segments myself, or I can tell the software use automatic super elevation. Automatic software asks me a question. What is the speed limit? And this, and I said 80 kilometers per hour. What is the length width? 3.5. What is the normal slope? -2.5. Okay. According to this, the system says that you have to super elevate from -2.5 to 4.27. So this lane will have to super elevate from -2.5 to 4.7. It has to flip. This is minus, right from the center. This is minus going down. Now I'm changing it to go up 4.27. It's in plus. But of course, this lane cannot stay at 2.5, so it has to follow. So this lane also changed to -4.27. So there's a transition that starts 62 meters from the beginning of the road, or actually about 47 meters before the tangent point. This is what the software suggests according to the speed limit. This time I gave it 90 kilometers per hour. It can be 80 before, here's 90. So the transition starts from this point where we have the standard -2.5 to -2.5. And the full transition is in the tangent point, in one hand and 109.42, full transition at 4.27% going one side. Then the transition continue until the next tangent point, and then super elevating again to -2, -2. Let's see it. Let's look at the section. Here it is. This is the super elevation that I'm talking about. If I do layout, here it is. You can see it here in the contours. I hope I answered your question. Of course, you have to think about it to digest
Yes,
like everything. Any questions, others? Others, do you have any questions on this super elevation? Any questions, anyone? No questions. Again, if someone wants me to repeat, this is the time. If it's unclear. If you raise hand or do anything, I don't see you, so just speak up. No. Adamo, did you get it? Mr. Adamo?
Yes.
It's okay. What about Gal? Gal, is it okay?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so I have my sections. I can now go and print it or create the section, cross section. How do I do it? I have the button here on the upper left. You see frames division. It says here on the upper left corner in the cross sections. If I click it, the software asks me, what are the scales of the height and length of a cross section? I will do 150 to 150. Here to the height and to the width. I want you to arrange it into A0. Pip. I can create it as a separate file in module space, or I can create it here in this file as a paper space. I will use paper space. Module space will create a separate file. Paper space will add it up to this drawing. Software asks me, what is your logo? So this is the logo at section.dw. This is the logo that will be sticked to the drawing. And the position of the logo here is on the left side. I can decide that I have it with no logo. If I want to only plot part of the sections, I can define here the range. And if I'm happy, I'm pressing OK. The system will first purge all, otherwise it will have problems. So in a minute it will prompt yes. And now start creating a paper space. So these are A0s. The software automatically defines the number of sections on the division by the width of the sections. So this is quite a wide section because I set it at -40 to 40 because of the ditches that I have here. So each plot like this, I have the sections and the scale. Any questions? Of course, these are in different layers. Any questions? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for questions. Otherwise, I'll continue. We are not practicing this one. We will only practice something called extract today. So if you have any questions, this is the time. Nothing. No questions. No questions.
Hello, hello,
Yes,
sir.
please. Yes, please.
I try to practice it. I break my line into 3.65 instead of 7. And
Again?
I want, you know, in the example, you use 7 meters as the width of the road.
Yes.
But I break it into 2 lanes. I use I break my one to 3.65 to get 7.3.
Okay.
Now I want to choose the slope left from the super elevation window.
Can you show me
Now,
your
I
window?
need to.
Can you show me my window, your window, and let's do it together? Because I think it's
Oh,
good. It's a good training to everyone.
Oh, sorry, so I'm using another computer to practice because my laptop.
Okay. So again, so let's continue like this. What did you try to do?
Now I break my road into 3.
I understand. From here, 3.6
Yes.
and additional
Yes.
3.6.
Yes, to make it, let's say 3.5, 3.5.
Okay, yes. It's possible. You created, instead
Yes.
of the -7 that I did here,
Yes,
you
yes.
did 2. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now I want to choose the slope. In the super elevation window, I want to choose slope percentage. Yes.
Yes.
Here, here. Now, since I break it into 2, like minus in your example now, I break to -1 and -2. And here now, I need to choose the 2.
Okay, what you do, you first of all define here, then you copy, you change to -2.
Okay, okay.
Okay?
Okay,
And it asks, actually you don't even need to copy. It asks you if you use identical design ground level. It is also.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
Okay.
It asks
Okay,
you
okay.
which one
Let
you
me
want
try
to
again.
Yeah. So try to do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, try to do it. So you do for the first and for the second. And when you choose to the second, they ask you identical design ground level segment. Yes.
Okay. Let me try again, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. More questions? Questions? Anyone? So again, let me just repeat the question of the madam. I think it was Rose, if I got it correctly. What she did, she had 2 segments here. Instead of the example that I did, you know, I used 7 meters to the left to create one big segment for the 2 lanes. It's 1 lane and 2 lane. She breaks it into -3.5 and -3.5. There's no problem, of course. But then when she did the super elevation, she had 2 segments, and the system automatically suggests only to do to -1. So I tell her, in this case, you have to take the suggestion in the software, copy, go to -2, press OK on this one, stand here and press paste. Because the 2 lanes are following the same. In fact, if you want your shoulders to super elevate as well, this is what you will have to do. Again, just practice it and then you'll see it. Other questions, please, but this was a good question. Other questions about super elevation or other question about a frames maker? Rest of you? No, nothing. Okay. By the way, don't be shy. It looks like Rose, she's very good with the software because she knew already how to break it and everything. So probably she has past experience. The rest, it's okay if you hear it for the first time, it's better you ask. Okay, let me continue. Now, before I continue, you know what? Let me go directly. Into my road, and what I want to do now is to define another road here. Define another road here, the one that I started defining. You see this road. This is a link between this road and the existing road that sits here. I want to create it. First of all, I want to cancel the ditch on the left. You see the ditch? I want to stop it here at 250. I'll go to the road cross sections. Go to 250. Here it is. From here, I want to cancel. Sorry, let's see. From here, I want to cancel it. Actually, this will still have a ditch. This will not have a ditch. I'll go to 200. So what I'm doing, I'm pressing this button on the right. Clear data in table, in current table. Which of the current table? I press it. He asks me, which table do you want to clear the data? Not all the design. I want to raise the left ditch. Changing to the left ditch. This is the table that I want to remove. He asked me, for the entire road, no. I want from 275, I'm clicking it here, pressing shift in my keyboard, hold the G shift and mark the last one and press OK. About to erase all selected left ditch data. Okay, here it is. From 250, all the data was removed, you see? Until 250 there is, 275, going forward, there's no left ditch on this side. I will end up, for now I'll end it like this. Later on I will choose what to do. So if I will update my layout, this is supposed to be removed up till here. Let's see. Yeah, good. So this is the ditch. Of course, there's a small slope, but we saw it in the cross section. And from this point on, I want to design this road. Everybody, please listen carefully. Please listen carefully. What I'm gonna do now, you'll have to follow up, otherwise you lose me. I'm doing a lot of things together. This one we'll practice later on, but it's important that you understand. Let me remind you that when we designed this road, what we did, we designed using template cross sections. We went directly into road cross sections. We went into the first section. Wait a minute, to come up again. It was open, so it reopened. We went into the first section. And in the first section, we defined the structure. This is what we did. We defined the design. Later on, we defined the left ditch and the right ditch. Then we copy, using this button, from the first section to the last section. We paste, and then we use this magic button, interpolate. Interpolate means tell the software, go to each section, build it, and then interpolate. If there's an empty section, interpolate it. This is what the software did, and then we got all our entire sections. Then to show you how easy it goes, I took this right lane from here and changed it, just to remind you. I went to structure and changed this one from 7 meter, this lane, to 8.5. So here it was 7 meter. So from 100, 125, this one, I see it's 8.5 meter. 8.5 up till here, I change it back to 7 meter. How did I do it? I went to 100, change this from 7 to 8.5. Let me remind you that I changed the slope to minus 2.5, but in this case, it's super elevated. So this is the reason. Then I stood here on the segment, right click in the mouse and send to all the section from 100 to the last one that I wanted, 275. That's it. So this is how I change a specific segment and I make it wider. I can do it for every section which I want. I hope you got this principle. Every section is an individual entity. You can change it, but you can use a template and do whatever. But now I'm going to use another method in the system called extract. The good thing that extract and works with regular cross-section and vice versa. Cross-section can work with extract. Again, extract can work with cross-section or vice versa. Cross-section can work with extract. Let me explain. This is the road, but in this case, instead of start designing the road through the cross section, I want to define its geometry. Let me remove some segments here. Sorry, I want the center line. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this center line and create an offset. And I will offset it. I will start with the median. In this case, the median will be, let me see, I want to practice the exact thing that okay, the median is 1.5 meters. So 1.5 meter to this side. And again, 1.5 meter to this side. This is what I started. And then the lane will be, the asphalt will be 7 meter. So 7 meter from here, here, from here, here. Good. So again, don't judge me if I'm doing civil engineering mistakes. The principle is what's important here. You can later on change the geometry by your own decision. Now, I'm using a sidewalk. Here I had shoulders. Here I want to do sidewalk. Sidewalk to the left is 3.5 meters. Why? It's my decision. And to the right, only 1.5 meters. This is what I want. Okay, so this is my road geometry. From the center line, median till here and here, asphalt here and here, sidewalk here and here. Let me save it. Now, each of this segment, I want to define them in a different layer. So the system will know how to categorize it. I'll go to layers and I create some new layers. The first one I will call it road 2 because this is the second road. I can call it whatever, it's not so important. Road 2 and I will call it road 2 median. Where is it? Road 2 median. And I will give it a color green. And I'll create another one. Road 2 asphalt. So the second one would be road 2 asphalt. And this one, I'll make it yellow. And I'll do another one, I'll call it road 2 sidewalk. Meanwhile, regular CAD. And this one, I do it like this. Good, so I have 3 layers, asphalt, median, and sidewalk. So what I'll do, I'll take this and this, polylines, and change them from the original center line, which I use for the offset, into road 2 median. Good. And I will take this one and this one and change it into road 2 asphalt. And I will take this one and this one and change it to road 2 sidewalk. Great. But I've not done. What I want to do, I do 2 changes. First of all, my median doesn't end up here, it ends up somewhere here. So again, I will not do real design, I just do it quick. So what I'll do, I'll create an arc. Let's make the median as the current layer. And I'll do an arc. I know it's not precise, so again, setting nearest from here. This is one, and the second one here. This is not nice. I'm sure that all of you can teach me how to do it better, but this is not the issue here. Okay. And now I want to finish the geometry, so I'm trimming in AutoCAD. And the same goes here. Good. So this is my road. And on the sidewalk, I want to do, this is 3 meters. So I want to do 1.5 meter parking space here. So I'm doing an offset, 1.5 meter. What? I'll do it 2 meters. Okay. And here, let's say the parking space starts somewhere. Okay, no, we are going on this. We are on the asphalt, make it the current. And we're using, sorry, polyline from here to here. Everybody, please mute yourself. Thank you. And it's done. Stand here. And I will trim. Okay, here it is. This is the geometry that I'm using. This is the geometry which I'm using. I hope you can see. Let me save. Now it's not a must, but to ensure that all goes well, I will join this to be unified polyline. So I'm doing p-edit, joining this, join with this, this, and this. Here, see, it's one polyline. And I'll do the same here. It's not a must, but it's better. Okay. So this is my geometry. Before I continue, what I'm asking all of you now is to go, I will give you a practice so all of you can try to do what I'm doing exactly the same way like I've done it. So I'm sending you now on the chat the practice of today, and I want you to take 15 minutes to try to create the same drawing which I have done here. Where's the practice? 1 second. day 4. This is for you. So all of you, just take it from the chat, download it, and follow the same practice which I did, which first of all, remove the ditch up to this point, and then continue with this drawing. Take 15 minutes. We'll continue 11:15. Take your time, 15 minutes. Use the practice which I sent here and practice. Please do the same as I've done here. Okay. Okay, we took our time to create the geometry. We took our time to create the geometry. I hope you succeeded to do it. So far, it was mainly AutoCAD function besides deleting the ditch, so I hope I don't need to repeat it. Any question so far? Any questions so far? Okay. 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 So we did the geometry. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to use this geometry, define something used called extract. I'm going to roads, extract. I went into roads, extract. Here, it looks very similar to the cross sections, but it's not the same. You cannot change here. You have only typical structure and typical design. Here on the right side, you don't have a list of sections. You have segments from two. In this case, the segment is for the entire road. Since my road is changing, remember, it's changing. I have one template of cross section here, and I have another one template here. And it changed again for another template here. By the way, this is not a different template. It's the same template. It's the same template. It's just change of width. So it's the same template. But here it's a different template. It will, very soon you'll understand. So what I'm doing, I'm creating different segments. How do I do it? I'm pressing pick again, pick here on the right. Go to the drawing and pick the intersection point here. Sorry. Intersection point. Okay. So again, from here, pick, go to the drawing, and this is the intersection point. Okay, so click the location, the topile section, the center line, or press enter. Now I want to create the last end of this segment. This segment ends here. When I finish, I press enter. Oh, why didn't it work? Again.
You are in road 1 when you pick.
Ah, thank you very much. Pick. Thank you. I don't know, but I see you pay attention. It was just to see that you have full attention. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. And pick in here again. Yeah, you're right. On road 2, the system divide the road into 3 segments. The one from 0 to 27 meter, which is the beginning of the median. Median start at 27, end at 208. And from 208 to 229, last segment. I will start, it's my decision, with the one with the median. So I'm clicking on the second segment and start defining its template. I'm starting at 0, 0.2. Very soon it will be easy to understand. I'm going 1.5 meters to the right with -2% and -1.5, -2. I can start, you know what, let me start to the right. 1.5 meters. Then I have my 7 meters. And okay, 7 meters, sorry, 2.5%. I'll do 2.5%. This is what I used before. And this is the asphalt. So here, let's mark it to be the asphalt. Yeah, it's my mistake because here, how did I open this segment? I stood on the serial number and just press enter and go 0, -0.2. Let me show you what I've done so far. This is what I've done. I started here. This is the 0, 0. This is the crown level. From here, the median start 20 centimeter up, go 2.5%, 1.5 meter, go down by 0.2 again, and 7 meter like this. From here, I have the step of the sidewalk. And the sidewalk is 1 meter, 2.5% going the direction of the road. So this is 2.5% this way, so it's a plus. It's not minus. So this is my typical section with the sidewalk. And for myself, I will mark this to be sidewalk. So the system will also put something like that here. Let's do the same for the left. So it will be 0, the sidewalk, the side of the median, -7, -2.5, 0, 0.2, and okay. Minus, I'll do 1.5. You'll see that it's not so important. It can be even 1 if I want. Okay. Let's see. This is the typical. Here I will have to mark that this is the asphalt. Sorry. And then this is the sidewalk. Here it is. Any questions so far? So this is the section, typical ring 1, station 0. Any questions so far? Guys, it's important. Questions? No questions. Anyone? Question? This is the time. Nobody. You know, when nobody answers, either nobody understand or what about Amir? Amir, do you understand? Can you follow? Yeah. Okay. Majid, are you with us? Majid?
Yes, no, it's understood.
Sorry?
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's very okay.
Thank you. Okay, good. Here I want to end up like this because later on I will bring the fence here or something or land development, so I'll just leave it like this. Now let me do the design. I will copy from here. I'm pressing copy here and I'm pressing paste here. But in this case, I'm starting with the structure, let's say the structure here will be 0.5 meter. So I'm starting 0.5 meter. I'm going like this. This one, I don't need it, 0. And this one, I don't need it, it's 0. Let's see. Okay. This is what I've done. I started from here, went down by 0.5 meter, left 2.5%, then this I left it at 0, 0, then continue here, 7 meter up to this point. I can leave it like this. I can, oh, I did a mistake here on the sidewalk. You see the sidewalk is going this way. Let me change it here, minus 2.5%. And also here. Here it is. Now I can leave it like this, so I can enter 20 cm under the sidewalk. So usually I will take this to be minus 7.2 and this to be 1.3. Let's see, this is what I've done. See, I entered 20 cm inside. And I will do the same on the right. Oh, I see here I used 1.5, here I use 1. Not, I'll use the same. So I have the same template. This will be 1.3, this will be 1.5. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. But my structure level, actually the bedding below the path, below the sidewalk is not 60 cm because I don't have subgrade. I have only sand here. No bitumen, nothing. So what I do, here this drop, it's not 20 cm. Let's say that the width here there is 20 cm altogether, from here to here. So if I'm here, this is 20, I'll take it up by additional, if between here and here is 30 cm, now I'll take it up by 30 cm. So instead of drop of 0.2, I'll do a drop, sorry, not here. I'll do the drop here as 0.5. And the same to the right. So complete. This is what I have. So here, 20 cm. This is 50 cm. This is the sidewalk. Yep, I'm okay. This is my template. This is how I want my template to look like. This is how I want the template to look like. If I want, I can define. Since this is a template, cut and fill also, let's do it 1 to 2. Okay. I will take this template. I will press the copy button on the right. Here, copy button on the right. This copy both structure and design into the clipboard, into the memory. I will click on the first segment and I will paste. So what I've done, I copied from the first one, sorry, from segment 2 to the first segment. But here we know that there's no median. It looks the same, but no median. So actually I have to go here and put it 0, 0, and this drop in the median 0, 0 as well. Like this. And in fact, this is supposed to be an asphalt as well. Okay, fine. This is how I want it to look like. I'm pressing copy. I'm going to the last section. Now, we know that this segment and the last segment are exactly the same. So I go to the last segment and paste. So let's repeat it. I have 3 segments here. The first segment starts from here to 27 point something meter to the median. This is one typical section, no median. From here till here, another typical section with median. Here, the roads get wider, but there's no change in the typical section, so we can just leave it like this, because the width will change automatically, unless this is changing. There's a change here in the drainage. And from this point to this point, also one typical section. Okay, good. I'm happy. So now, before I'm running it, I have to tell the software to which segment to stick each segment here. Like, let me explain. This segment that you see here, this segment that you see here, it doesn't stick to anything. But this segment stick to the layer road to asphalt. Road to asphalt. So I want to stick this segment to layer road to asphalt. And I want to stick this segment also to road to asphalt, to the same layer. By the way, I can create one to the left, one to the right, whatever, but it's also important for the software. The software will know, sorry, not sidewalk. We know automatically how to address it. Software automatically will know that this is to the left and this is to the right. But if you don't, if you want, you can create different layers to each segment. So basically, yeah. Sidewalk, the same. Where is it? Road to sidewalk. And the same to the left. Fine. This is what I want to see. And again, I can repeat it or just copy paste. Copy to the last one. Supposed to do it before copy and paste. Okay. And to the one with the median, I will have to do the full thing. Now this is the median. This is the asphalt. And this is the sidewalk. And the same goes to the right. Okay, so I have all my templates ready. Now I'm ready, I can just run the extract. I'm pressing extract here, pressing OK, and wait. Here it is. The system automatically went and created all the elevations, the slopes. Here it's a different template, so it knows not to put contour lines here. Here it knows how to use the same slope, 2.5%, but wider. So this is more than 7 meters, but the system knows automatically because we told the software, use the slope, but stick to this layer. So automatically the software go wider. For example, if I go to 175, if I go to cross sections, let me show you. Let's go to cross section. Let's go to 175. Okay. If something like that happen and you don't see your section, you just interpolate. Tell the software to rebuild everything and apply. Here it is. So let's see what happened. This is the section, and a half meter. Here is with the median. Automatically, software knows how to create the median. We wanted to look at 175. This is the one with 9 meters to the left. The software automatically knew that this point, you have to stick it to the layer sidewalk, so the software went this way. Any questions? It's not so easy to understand, but it's important that if you have a question, you'll ask it.
I have a question, please.
Yeah, who is it?
Tamir,
Yes, Tamir, please.
in road number 1, you made only one template and you run it all the way. You didn't even stick the line to the layers because the road didn't change.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
In fact, as I said, I can combine the two together. You see that what happened in road number 2 is that I used extract. It means I predefined the geometry, then I create templates and apply it on the geometry. On road 1, I did the opposite. I used the cross section to create the geometry. Which method is better? There's no such thing.
You decide.
You decide, depends on the situation. Usually, if you have a lengthy road with no much changes, maybe it's better to run. Actually, you can start with one, change the geometry and extract back. So it's your decision.
So now if you go back to the AutoCAD and you move the lines and apply it back to the...
You have to extract again.
And it will update.
Yeah, let's try and do it. I'll take this. Okay, you know what? I'll do something very strange. I'll stretch it like this. Okay? This is what I want to do. Okay? I don't want to do a lot of break now. You know what? I'll do something crazy. From here, like this. Okay, this is what I want to do. Let's go to the roads. Extract. Press extract. All the sections. Which section to change? All the sections. Okay? You see?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
All the geometry, everything changed according, and even here it went wider. So, and I didn't have to change my template because the template remained. Only if my template changed, then I will have to stick again the point of the change of the template. Otherwise, there's no problem.
Thank you.
Okay. Now I want to talk a little bit about this phenomenon. This is the side stick. Okay. I want to show you something. Let me take you to the cross sections again. if I click here, you see these stars, we call them intermediate section. What the system did is that whenever it encounters a break or in change in the geometry, it creates an intermediate section. So for example, after 27.21 meter, the system here created another intermediate section. By default, all these sections are with stars. It means the system only created in the background. It will not appear if a section is with a star, you will not see the section here on the horizontal, on the layout. And if you export it into cross section in the frame division, it will not appear. But if I want, I can go to this section, for example, this one, remove the star, and recreate the layout. For example, I want to see the one at 28 meter. After 20 meter, probably this break here, this point, where there's a change in the, here it is, you see? Exactly at this point, the software.
And now it will lay out in the frame division.
In the frames division, what do you mean? Frame division, it's part of the layout, of course. Here it is.
No, but now it will appear on the layout.
Not in the layout. You mean on the cross section? In the layout is here. You mean on the frames division? Yeah, it will be part of your sections.
Mm-hmm.
For now, it's a part of your sections. You can remove it. Actually, in fact, I can take each section if I want it, and remove its star or create a star to it. And then automatically it will go as a background. Now, see another thing. The system did not pick the existing ground level of these intermediate sections. See this intermediate section? There's no ground level. Why? The system does it to save time. But because it's only to create the geometry. But this is what happens. Since it doesn't have the entire thing, sometimes crazy things like this happen. Because here it has ground level, he knows where is the sticking point, and here it doesn't know. So in this case, if for me it's important to show the exact edge, and it depends on your design, I can go now and do what we did in the first lesson, go topo data for all sections. And that's it. See? And interpolate all, so system automatically will rebuild it. Refresh this one. Here it is. Now everything is okay. If now I'll go and create the layout, it will be okay.
I have a question, please.
Wait, let the system finish, and then I see there are few people that want to ask questions, which is good for me. Yeah, let's start with, I think the first one was Dareen, okay, and then Somchi. Yes, Dareen, please.
The two roads are intersect in some point.
Yes, how to create the junction.
Yeah, so.
Well, we didn't design, we will not talk about it today. If I will have the time, the last question, yeah, Skomi asked me the same question. Yeah, first of all, yes, they can intersect properly since you use different method. It's not issue of there's no issue of method. The method, you can do whatever you like. This was the question from Kaskamash, which is the same as Dareen. There's no problem. The problem is how to create the junction. There is a mechanism here for junction, but I'm not sure we'll be able to discuss. I will try to put it in my last session, which is 2 days from now. I will try. If not, I will record a session for you on that. Okay, other questions, please. I hope you got it. This is very important because once you get a hold of this entire principle of you removing stars, putting stars, the interaction between extract and here, you can use both. And you don't need to be afraid of the software. You can control everything. You know what, I will even want to show you something. Let's take this section. Yeah, the geometry is like this, right? It's stick by the geometry. But now I want to do something crazy on this section. I want to take it wider, up till here. No, whatever width I want. I can change the geometry. I can even go to specific section, which was 125, I think. Go to its structure and change it specifically. This was 7.86 meters. This is the geometry. I can change it to be 10 meters. Just make the slope 2.5%. But of course, I have to make sure that the offset here is also. So this is minus 10.2. Sorry.
Minus 10.
Minus 10.2. And minus 2.5. And here, okay, I have to do a lot of calculation here. Yeah, but it's supposed to be okay like this. Let's see. Yeah, okay. This worked. Once it's here, when I will create the layer, software automatically take the sections and do this crazy thing from here to here somewhere. Let's see. Ah, it's not so crazy. Just 2 meters to the left. So this is what happened. This is my original geometry, right? But now I took it wider. There's no problem. Once you get the principle, it's very easy. Sometimes, well, look, we see a lot of people calling us or sending us projects because they don't understand the concept of extract and cross-section and individual. This is, once you get it, it's very easy. Many people say, oh, but it gave me like this. Once you get the principle, it's very easy. I want to explain something else on the extract. I want to explain something else on the extract. If, for example, my median is not on the center line, it's changing from left and right, which is a common thing which we see. In this case, the only good way to do it is to create different segments to the change. What I mean, let me try to do an example. I'm not sure. Okay. Let's say, okay. Oh, yeah. This is the reason why I didn't want to do it. Okay, I hope it will be reasonable. For example, if this is your example, and this is your geometry, then if there's a different segment here, we start here, and a different segment which starts here. Because this is a typical, there's a typical from here to here, where the median is on the left of the center line, right? The road starts from here, yeah, on the left. So you have to create one typical, the same typical in the beginning can continue. The next typical will have to go here when we are moving from one typical where the median is on the left to another typical. From here, it will continue all the way. Actually, the rest will not change. So the only thing that I will need to do is to create another segment from here to here with the median to the left. And that's it. But these are classic problems that we see. Many times people send us project to review, say, oh, I didn't get what I want, but this is the classic problem. The typicals in the extract are not suited to the geometry. So the system doesn't know what to do. It looks for, in this case, for example, it looks from the center line. It looked for here, for the segment called median. It couldn't find it. So it will continue, but probably you'll get a messy contours. Usually this is what will happen. But once you arrange it, there's no problem. It works, believe me, it works. We just have to be very careful on that. the concept. By the way, you can always, if it's too complicated for you to create another median, you can create additional sections here, if you like, manually. We saw how to do it. If I go here, just for your example, I want to go here to create a section here. I'm standing up 0 plus 27, press enter, a new section, not here, sorry. This one, I want to delete it. I use the eraser. Here, I create, I'll call it 0 plus 030. By the name is not so important. I can call it, I think I even can call it alphanumeric, but I don't want to be too smart. I can call it section number 5. Why? Because I want it to be section number 5. And what's important is the station. This is what's important. I can get the topography. Apply. Huh? Ah, I put it on the structure. Sorry, my mistake. Existing. The topography. Okay. Delete the mistake. I add everything to the design, to the structure. Let me rate. Okay, so this is the existing. You take this section, copy it, go to 5, paste it, apply. Here it is. I put in the layout. We'll have another section here somewhere. Here is it. Here it is. Section number 5. But somehow I created the system didn't know how to do. Yeah, it's a stupid mistake probably. I will have to check it. But I will have to design here. But generally this is it. And by the way, if I go now to the profile, you will see this one. This is the cross section of road number 1. This is how it will look like. If I go to road number 1, okay, in this point. So you see the intersection of this point. Yeah, and the ditch which I cut. See the profile of the ditch and the dorsal. Yeah, what I want you to do, okay, in fact, we've finished our lesson. You have a lot of practice. All this that I've just shown is in the document which I sent you for practicing. Unless you have more questions, I want to close this training so we can meet up in 2 days. You can practice and then probably you'll have more questions to ask. All right, thank you everybody. Have a good day. See you in 2 days.
Hello?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, no, do I have chance for question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, the junction.
Oh,
Are
you
we
came-
designing it in future?
Yeah.
In the next lesson?
Yeah, who is talking?
Kam Salem, Bukar.
Kam Salam. Kam Salam. We just
From Maiduguri.
Yes. 2 people asked me the same. I will try to do the junction here in the next question. I'm not sure I will be able to do it in the time because I want to do. But since 3 people asked about the junction, I will try to deal with it, but I cannot promise. I'll do my best, but next lesson will include junctions. I'll do my best.
Important. It's important.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Thank you very much.